Real quick before y'all go to the true video, I just want to let y'all know. Make sure y'all get two specific things if y'all have the time. Unless y'all don't care, then okay, disregard this. If y'all want to keep y'all files, grab a hard drive, a big terabyte hard drive, biggest one you can find, and grab a grab a SSD. Okay, grab that, transfer some files over, and then after that install Linux, because sometimes with the Linux setup they'll straight up tell you, oh, okay, we just gonna get rid of this Windows setup entirely, including the files with it. So back up whatever it is that you have to back up, get that done, and then move over to Linux. Don't just straight up go over to Linux and then think your Windows files that you had, your save files from Windows, are safe. They're not safe unless they're save games. In this case, they might be safe because of Steam Cloud, but other than that, just back up your shit and you should be fine. One other thing I want to say is kernel anti-cheat is a thing. So if you still want to play kernel anti-cheat games like Battlefield, for an example, have another SSD ready, put Windows on that SSD, and then you get to use Windows strictly for gaming while your main area could be Linux, or you could flip-flop between the two, because I'm doing that right now. So that's just to let y'all know. Alright, back to the video. Okay. Alright, what is up, y'all? I'm Writing the Fams here, back with another important vid. Okay. Kind of important, because this is definitely something that's going to be a thing to talk about within the coming month or so. So right now, today is August 24th. By the time you get this recording, it will probably be either the same day or on the 25th. So I want to specifically talk about how Linux financially, and I mean this sincerely, financially saved not only me, but financially saved my family. And I say this in the sense where we have very old laptops. Okay? Very, very old laptops. I would say some dating back to like Windows 8, or some dating back to Windows 7. So I say financially saved because at the time we didn't know exactly what we were doing with a couple of these laptops until it finally hit us. So what do you're probably thinking, okay, so what do you mean by this? Why would you say that it financially saved you? Okay, so let me go ahead and explain. The first laptop you'll see in the picture here is my cousin's laptop from back in 2019. This is a Acer Aspire 3. Okay, this laptop my cousin got from, of course, he got it from his grandmom, late grandmom. And of course, one day, like last week or so, last week or so, he texted me wondering, why is my PC running slow? What the hell is going on? Like, I can't even press the start button. I can't even press, I can't press anything. I can't do anything. The minute he told me this, I already had a feeling what was going on. And the crazy thing is, the reason why I had that feeling was because I had already gone through this earlier this year, as y'all know, when it went for me and Windows having an issue to where I had such a bad update, it effectively made my PC run incredibly slow, and I was forced over to Linux. I didn't exactly know how to get a Windows key, and even if I did know how to get a Windows key, I wasn't going to run a risk of having to, say, uninstall Windows and then you try to install it again. It's too risky. So I'm like, okay, fine then. Since I don't have much of a choice, let me see what's going on with Linux. Let me see if I can go over there. I look up Linux Mint, and there you go. Rest is history. So what told me from there was, okay, Windows was the problem. Because why is everything running good? Why is everything running smooth now? So I go over to my cousin's house, and it's exactly what the issue is. The exact same problem, the exact same issue. He couldn't even boot up his computer like that without it being a Windows problem. For some reason, it was affecting his boot screen. He couldn't press any buttons. He could barely sign in. But it all changed the moment I sat up there and I put Linux Mint on that laptop, and now all of a sudden it's running just as good as it did back when he first got it in 2019. So what does this tell you? Okay, the only thing that this tells me, and hopefully it tells you, that when y'all get ready to make that upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11, it's very possible that your PC might not be the same by the time that happens. I say might not because it depends on how long you've been upgrading it, if you've been doing a good job taking care of it, having good maintenance with it. And if you're a laptop, you're damn near shit out of luck if you're on a laptop. So I feel for people that's at this struggle, that's at this issue, where it's like, okay, I still want to play games, but I still want to have a smooth and enjoyable experience using my laptop or using my old desktop. There's times where some people, they might not want to upgrade. They might just be fine right where they're at. And I completely understand that. I completely get that. But that's why I hope that with this video being made, y'all take a look at Linux Mint as a means for y'all to get started. Now, my cousin don't know a lick about computers, right? He don't give a fuck about computers. He just has it for entertainment. He just has it for casual use. If you're looking for some casual, chill use, and you can even do a bit of gaming as well, I highly recommend, if at all possible, y'all go over to Linux Mint and take a good look at it. Now, this is just for me telling you, if you want an easier transition, if you want the best possible transition, if y'all don't want to mess with the command prompt, so to speak, because you're on Windows, but on Linux, I guess we just call this the console. I'm still calling it the command prompt. I don't go fuck. Yeah, if y'all want the smoothest, easiest possible experience to what it was when you had a stable working Windows computer, and the even better point, it's stable to the point where you'll never have to worry about any advertisements, anything crazy going on, that's where you can go. That's where I would recommend you to go. Now, understandably, there's 3 versions of Linux Mint. There's the Cinnamon one, which is more or less in line with the modern versions of computers that we use today. I would say somewhere around 2020, 2021, those kind of computers, those kind of laptops. Now, 2019 to 2021, 2022, again, more in line with those kind of laptops, more in line with those kind of desktops at that time. Now, if say you're a laptop user and you got this laptop from such and such year, like for me, I got this old HP laptop that you're gonna see here on this screen, right? I got this old laptop back in if I had to take a guess, fucking 2012, 2010? You can see it because it got Windows 7 up there. That's how you know how old this shit is. So when I tried to run the original Cinnamon version of Linux Mint, it would not work. So to counter this, they had another version. They have the Mate version or the Mate version, however they pronounce it. This one was perfectly made for it. It even said so in the description that, this was from certain stuff from 2000 to 2006, 2007. So somewhere around those lines. I'm like, okay, this is probably perfectly made for this. And I installed on there, and it's perfectly fine. Now, this laptop, I remember my mom telling me to get this kind of laptop because she wanted me to get a smaller laptop. She wanted me to get something chill. She wanted me to have something to be like, okay, this is something that you can do while you're away. So that way, it's easier to use, and it's something that's meant for you to relax with. It's not meant for you to game with. You already have a gaming PC. So why not have a PC when you're on the move? You could just use it and chill. Now, with that being said, there's another version that you could use, and this is really going to be important. Say if you're someone that's say if you're an old head, right? Say if you're someone that's in their 50s, in their 60s, and you still want to use a computer to just chill out, do more business work, do office stuff, but you haven't upgraded that computer practically at all. You got it from when you got it at that time up to now. and you're still using that same computer. What I would recommend checking out is the XFC version, XFC, whatever the hell it is. I think there's four letters. You'll see it when you get on the Linux Mint website. That's the third version. That one is more so meant if you had computers that was like from Windows XP, Windows 2000, you know what I mean? Which is crazy enough that with that exact version, you're still getting solid updates with that. Wow, you're just out here chilling and just using it for business. That's usually all it would be for. You know what I mean? You got the 3 versions of Linux Mint right there with you at your fingertips. Now, granted, I understand for some people, they can get a little intimidated with having to, you know, download and install it. Now, you already know there's videos out there that shows you how to install Linux Mint. Okay? It's not a hard process. It's an extremely easy process. It's as easy as if it was you trying to install Windows on your computer. But say if you didn't have the updates, but you're like, you know what, fuck it, I still want to go ahead and install Windows 10 on this computer. You can absolutely do that. You had the options. You have everything available with you to go ahead and do this. So however it was, if you happen to install it using a flash drive, you could use it the exact same way when it goes to Linux. So I would definitely say, look, just give it a shot. Check it out. It's definitely something that's there for you, and it'll save you a ton of money. Because what Windows wants you to do, they're right now like this when it goes to these laptops. They're literally saying, okay, look, we're going to release this version of Windows and effectively make whatever laptop you had back then worthless, meaningless, not mean a goddamn thing anymore. And it's terrible to see. I remember it being called, what was it, e-waste? Because that's exactly what that is. Windows is effectively promoting e-waste by saying, okay, we're going to not only shut off Windows 10 support, we're going to force you on Windows 11, just like how they did with Windows 7, where they shut off Windows 7 support and they killed a good chunk of laptops doing this. You know they had. Seeing as you see what's been going on now, you can't even run Windows 10 on an old laptop anymore. So hopefully y'all take a look at that. Now I'm going to bring up one more computer, okay? This is my mom's old computer, her old desktop that she has downstairs in the living room, and that shit was rocking Windows 10 for like 3 years. Until I finally decided to say, you know what, enough is enough. If I was able to get Linux on my computer and have that shit running well, let's see what will happen when I put Linux Mint on this desktop and see if it improves at all. And just like that, the same thing like what happened to the 3 other computers. 4 computers in this family. 4 of them. Probably more. But 4 of them in this family are now on Linux, went from Windows to Linux, all because of one simple problem that y'all need to open your eyes with, especially come October. Windows is effectively killing what you use, and y'all don't even realize it. Now, I understand some people that game on Linux, right? Just like me, I game on Linux. So what would I say for you to use when it goes to gaming on Linux? I believe I had said this before in a previous video, but I'll gladly say it again. Bazzite is number 1, because at least in terms of ease of use, I'm going to say Bazzite. But you want to know what? Considering it's been the most popular distro as of late for gaming, it easily have to be number 2, and that's CachyOS. Hell, even I'm using CachyOS right now. Okay? I'm using it. I've been happy to use it, and I don't think I'm going to get off CachyOS anytime soon. So if I was to tell y'all the 2 best gaming Linux distributions to use, it's those 2. But if y'all want the ease of use, if y'all want to get yourself situated with Linux, which again I would recommend y'all do this, and this is very normal with Linux. Use Linux Mint first. Get acclimated, get used to Linux, understand how it all works, how it all functions. And if you like what you like from it, if you want to take it a step further, then decide to go over to either CachyOS or Bazzite. The way how I see it, you can't necessarily go wrong with either, but this is the edge I'm gonna give to CachyOS compared to Bazzite. Okay. So Bazzite has it where it's like, you know how it is with Windows 10 where you upgrade it and you realize that, oh shit, these games run a bit more better, and you had a proper PC of running Windows 10 and running these games. Imagine that for Bazzite, but a little bit more restrictive. I say restrictive because there's certain things in Bazzite that you cannot access, and they make it so you can't access it just to protect the distro from being harmed, which I understand. I completely get it. You know, sometimes there's people that's just fucking with shit that they have no business messing with. Now, if you think you know what you're doing, if you think you're not gonna mess it up, take a look at CachyOS. Now, the same thing. Now, I'm not gonna necessarily say the same thing can be said with both of them when in terms of not using the command prompt. I am gonna say this: there may come certain times where you might use the command prompt with both of them. I say might, but more so with CachyOS than you would with Bazzite, only for one reason and one reason only. CachyOS makes it so that you have a lot more freedom with what you want to do. It's truly telling you, look, this is your PC. What you do with it, it is your fault. The pros with CachyOS, it's a blazing fast PC. It lives up to that moniker. I'm sorry, it's a blazing fast distro. Lives up to that moniker. It does a phenomenal job doing business work. Phenomenal job doing whatever it is you want to do outside of gaming. But here's the cons, and this is a big one. The pros is it does what you want it to do. The cons is also it does what you want it to do, because if you input some wrong shit, if you do some wrong shit that you know you probably have no business doing, or you haven't looked up any information with, that is your fault. You have to hold yourself responsible to it. The computer is only acting that way because you command it to. You tell it to. You gave the order. Now it has to, commit to that order. So that's why I said Bazzite first, because out of protection, and I know that there's people these days that will fuck shit up. They'll fuck it up and then they'll come out and then they'll blame Linux, or they'll come out or they'll blame the distro, when it's like, no, at some point you have to hold yourself responsible. So that's why I said Bazzite first, and I'm going to say CachyOS second. Like, literally neck and neck second. So other than that, that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. That's all I will put out. So I hope for everyone in here, 17 minutes, it was more than enough time for me to ramble on and talk about how Linux saved me and my family. So I hope after doing this, it saves you, your family, and yourself some money. Don't unnecessarily spend on products that you're probably going to be transferring to Linux later on anyway. Till then, y'all take care of yourselves. Don't be a dickhead to your fellow people. Be nice to everyone. And I will see you in the future. In fact, I have another vid waiting for you. So, hopefully by the time this comes up, the other one will be up too. Bye.
Or attack with the 1600.